In 2021, something exceptional was discovered in Sayburç, Turkey. I am, of course, talking about this stone bench, which features several interesting carvings, the most prominent of which is a man holding his phallus. Scholars think that this carving is one of the most detailed examples of a pre-pottery Neolithic story. It's a narrative scene, and it coincides with a particular point in history when a rich cultural life was appearing at sites across southeast Anatolia. In 2022, archaeologist Özdoğan wrote a paper on these relief carvings that was published in the journal Antiquity. In this video, I'm going to take a look at that paper and also talk a little bit about some of the pre-pottery Neolithic sites in the region for context. There are quite a number of pre-pottery Neolithic sites in southeastern Turkey dating to between the 10th and 7th millennium BCE. These comprise settlements, camping grounds, and hunting sites and mark the period when the inhabitants of the region were transitioning from a nomadic lifestyle to one centered on agriculture and animal husbandry. These sites are being investigated as part of the Sanliurfa Neolithic Research Project, also called Tepe. One of the most famous is the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Göbekli Tepe. Covering around 9 hectares, its megalithic T-pillars with anthropomorphic, zoomorphic, and geometric carvings and its circular enclosures are well known. But these likely ritual structures are part of an extensive complex which included buildings interpreted as houses. This settlement was built and inhabited before farming took hold in the region, but is an early example of the move towards sedentism that accompanied the agricultural revolution. Another remarkable site is Karahan Tepe, where circular enclosures thought to be communal buildings, along with smaller dwellings, have been excavated since its discovery in 1997. Notable features include hundreds of T-shaped and phallus-shaped pillars, intriguing carvings such as this face that juts out of the wall in structure AB, and animal sculptures. Benches, niches, channels, and pits all suggest that parts of the complex were used for large ritual gatherings. The site covers around 10 hectares in total. In September 2023, ongoing excavations revealed the statue of a vulture and a 2.3 meter high statue of a man holding his phallus with both hands. He is wearing a V-shaped collar and overall is quite similar in appearance to the sculpture called Urfa Man, which was found during construction work. It's not clear which site it belonged to, but it may have been Urfa Yeni Yol. It stands at 1.9 meters tall and has obsidian set into its eye sockets. Çakmak Tepe was discovered via a satellite survey in 2021. It is made up of circular dwellings varying in size from 3 to 5 meters in diameter. On level ground, the flooring is cut into the bedrock, but on sloping ground, a flooring has been intentionally laid down on top of the bedrock. Conical holes of varying sizes can be found in the floors of the buildings and are thought to be mortars, since something similar has been found at Natufian settlements in the Levant. As with the other sites, communal buildings were also constructed at Çakmak Tepe. One was fully excavated to reveal a circular structure measuring 16 meters in diameter with a bench and post holes. It appears to have been one large room, except for a small 1.5 by 1.5 meter chamber with one open side in its southern section. Another communal building was partially excavated to reveal the skulls of wild cattle, sheep, and equids, which had been burnt on purpose outside, then moved inside and placed against the bottom of the walls. This suggests the room was used for group rituals. At Sefer Tepe, which is 50 kilometers from Göbekli Tepe and 20 kilometers from Karahan Tepe, most of the buildings are quadrangular, and just like at the other sites, there are pillars, some of which are T-shaped. Benches and broken grinding stones were found in the buildings, and the flooring was made from a mixture of lime and clay. Many flint tools were excavated from the site, along with beads made from jade, serpentine, limestone, igneous labradorite, and bone, amongst other materials. Another intriguing small find is a circular stone engraved with 13 circles with a random distribution on one side connected by lines and 13 circles on the other side in a ring arrangement. There are also platforms made by hoisting a large limestone slab on top of 2 columns of smaller stones. So the picture we have of that region in the pre-pottery Neolithic is one of hunter-gatherers slowly transitioning to a more sedentary way of life. They were creating communal buildings, they were carrying out rituals with the skulls of wild animals, and they were creating statues and sculptures which must have had symbolic value to them. Sayburç is 60 kilometers east of the Euphrates River in the southern part of the eastern Taurus Mountains. The Neolithic site was built on 2 hills, one to the north and one to the south. A Roman settlement was later built on top of the Neolithic site in the north. Excavations at Sayburç began in 2021, and archaeologists were able to identify 2 phases of occupation, both dating to the pre-pottery Neolithic. During the first phase, communal buildings were constructed in the northern part of the village. Then, during the second phase, residential buildings were constructed 70 meters to the south. One of the most interesting parts of the northern site is a large circular room with its floor carved out of the limestone bedrock and its surrounding walls built directly onto it. Measuring 14 meters in diameter, the room's most impressive feature is a decorated bench, also carved out of the bedrock, which stretches for almost 4 meters alongside one of the walls. The bench measures 0.8 meters in height and 0.6 meters in depth. Depressions in the bench and cavities in the wall behind it suggest that small pillars originally stood at intervals along it. The building is referred to as communal because its size, the length of the bench, and the detailed art suggest it was used for gatherings. 2 scenes are shown carved in relief on the inner face of the bench. The one on the right is centered on a seated man carved in high relief, holding his phallus in his right hand and staring straight ahead. He wears a triangular necklace, so somewhat similar to the Urfa Man statue and the 2.3 meter high statue found at Karahan Tepe. A sculpture from Yeni Mahala and a carving on one of the T-pillars at Göbekli Tepe also appear to have a triangular necklace or neck decoration. 2 leopards carved in low relief face him, one on either side, and are shown in side profile in a state of attack. Their mouths are open with their teeth showing and their tails are curled up. A phallus can be clearly seen on one of the leopards but not on the other. On the left of the bench, a second scene plays out. Here a human figure carved in low relief is shown in side profile. A protrusion from their abdomen is thought to depict a phallus. The figure is slightly squatted and faces away from the other scene. Their left hand has 6 fingers and is raised, and their right hand holds a snake or a rattle. Next to this human figure, a bull is depicted with its body shown in side profile and its head and horns shown from above as if to emphasize the horns. Examples of the man with phallus and bull depicted from above imagery styles are known at other prehistoric sites in the region. Although various aspects of the imagery are known in the Neolithic world, what's unusual about these 2 scenes is that they appear to be related to one another and to tell a story. At Göbekli Tepe, stylized humans and animal figures are depicted on some of the T-pillars, and at Karahan Tepe, humans are shown carrying animals on their backs. Before the site of Nevali Kori was inundated after the building of a dam, it was extensively excavated and sculptures were found showing humans and animals on top of one another. So the relationship between humans and animals is depicted on art throughout the region. However, it isn't shown in a narrative scene like at Sayburç, which makes the site unique and possibly tells a story that was important to the groups who met there. If this carving was a story, then it's certainly one of the most detailed from that time period. oral traditions, rituals, and symbols are known to shape societies. The community at Sayburç may have celebrated their collective memories and values through these depictions. I read somewhere that some people think it might have been the ritual gatherings at these sites throughout Southeast Anatolia that actually drove the agricultural revolution, since managing food production would have freed up the time needed to build and carve monuments. It's certainly an interesting idea. That's it. Let me know what you think about Sayburç in the comments. Thank you very much to my patrons and channel members, and I'll see you next time.